head men's basketball coach here at Roanoke College. I'm Chris Kilcoyne, Director of Athletic Communications. A couple of things how this will go today. I'll introduce Scott Allison, our Director of Athletics. He'll introduce Clay. After hearing from Clay, Clay will take questions and then be available for one-on-one interviews, both him and Scott. So without further ado, Director of Athletics, Scott Allison.
Thank you, Chris. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to celebrate with us. Today's a wonderful, great day for Roanoke College and for Roanoke College athletics. I'm about to introduce Clay Nunley as our next basketball coach, but before I do, I've got plenty of thank yous to make. My staff has been tremendous over the course of this. They're always tremendous, but they've been tremendous over the course of these past 4 weeks and helping things come along and working behind the scenes, especially Johnny Farmer. I know you're back there. Appreciate your work and your support. Jim Buriak, Carla Flaherty, several members of my staff that have put in a lot of extra hours, as well as Chris and his staff to put us in a position where we can move forward. I'd also like to thank Paige Moore and Curtis Perry and other members of our staff for keeping our student athletes in the basketball program focused on what's most important. It's our academics. Our exams start on Wednesday. Tomorrow's reading day, and they've been able to stay focused on getting out and shooting and playing as much as possible at the same time. After having talked to most of the players already, I know that they're on top of their academics, and we feel good about that. Now, Curtis and Paige can't be here today. Curtis is coaching our men's golf team in the ODAC golf tournament in Wintergreen today. And Paige is also there supporting his daughter Sarah, who competes for Washington and Lee University on their women's golf team. A special thanks to President Maxey and my boss, Vice President Aaron Fetro. He's in the back. He likes to stay incognito, but appreciate your support. It's vital on any campus, whether it be Division I, Division II, or Division III, that the presidential leadership and vice presidential leadership is supportive and embrace athletics, and their leadership has been instrumental in the success of all of our programs, and we're so appreciative. Last but not least, thanks to our fans and our alumni. The success of our 2015-16 campaign, as well as this process, seems to have galvanized the Roanoke basketball family, and we're proud of that, and we look forward to keeping that momentum going. In the search for our men's basketball coach, we were simply looking for a coach that could land excellent student athletes, had demonstrated evidence of the ability to organize those for on and off the court success, and was someone for which the players could enjoy playing. After 200+ applications, countless conversations with confidants and candidates, we chose Clay Nunley as a person to join our staff. We welcome Clay, his wife Tara, their son Landon, and daughter Hannah to our community. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming the 10th head coach in Roanoke College men's basketball history, Mr. Clay Nunley.
Coach Allison, thank you. Good morning. It is a distinct privilege to be here today, to join this outstanding community, this tremendous institution. I have always had great regard for Roanoke College. My brother's a proud grad, a proud alum. We've had other family who have graduated from here, worked here, and I said in my interview process that I have never come across a person who's been affiliated with Roanoke in some capacity, be it student, faculty, or staff member or alum, who hasn't spoken glowingly of their time here. And that certainly made a great impression on me. And my wife and I could not be more honored, humbled to be here. I want to extend my gratitude to President Maxey, to Vice President for Student Affairs Aaron Fetro, certainly to Athletic Director Scott Allison, and to Mr. Jim Buriak and the members of the search committee for their time in this process and for their faith in me. As Coach Allison mentioned, my family is here, my wife Tara and our son Landon, who was kind enough to ask me this morning when he saw me with a suit on. He said, "Daddy, why are you trying to look handsome? You don't normally look handsome." So always nice to have a 5-year-old to keep you humble. Our daughter Hannah, who will turn 2 here shortly. I am passionate about coaching. I am fully invested and committed in helping our student athletes to be the best version of themselves in all facets of their life. And like any coach, I'm a competitive person. I like to win. But the heart of my world and the core of who I am as a person starts with those three. And I'm very excited to be able to introduce them to the many members of this wonderful community. I want to pay a special tribute to Coach Paige Moyer. Coach Moyer was here for 27 years, won over 400 games, most impressively, in my opinion, graduated 100% of his players. So I think to put that simply, he had the kind of coaching tenure that all of us in the profession aspire to have, and the large majority of us do not. But I think his greatest legacy, in my opinion, and I didn't have the privilege of playing for him, but I have known him for a number of years, is that he helps others. And I can speak to that because he helped me. I met him when I first worked camp for him in college down in Charlotte at the Del Curry camp. And he was always great to me with his time, with his advice, with his counsel. I used him as a mentor, as a young coach navigating the profession. And then 9 years ago, when the job at Randolph came open and I was looking at it, he made a call on my behalf to the people at Randolph. And I've always been grateful to him for that. So it's not lost on me the honor that it is to follow him, the tradition of success that he has built. I know Coach Ed Green is here, and that means a lot to me to have him here as well today. So many people have made this program what it is, and to follow Coach Moyer is certainly an honor. So I did meet with the players Friday, met with them collectively and individually. I'll just touch on that briefly. Great conversations. The biggest thing I wanted to do was just reassure them. You know, when you go through a coaching change, it's hard on a lot of different factions of people. It's hard on previous staff, incoming staff, the people who have to make the hire, the community, but it's hardest of all on the players. And I want to put their minds at ease. I want to give them reassurance. I want to let them know that I am fully invested in them, and I'm excited to coach them and maybe provide a little bit of clarity for them as we get ready to move forward. The other part about that is I want them to know that I recognize that they didn't choose me. And when they came to Roanoke, they were coming to play for somebody else. But I hope it comes across as the compliment that it's intended to be, that I chose them. We had a great situation at Randolph. Players there I love dearly and will always love dearly. A program that we had worked hard to build, that had had some success, a place that was good to me, an area my wife and I were comfortable living in, and I was willing to walk away from that to be here, to be a part of this special opportunity and to coach them. So I'm excited to get started with that. It is their program. It is not about me. It is about them. I'm here to serve them, to help them to have the kind of experience that they can be proud of, feel good about, reach their full potential, and have no regrets. So with that being said, I'm certainly open to any questions anyone may have.
Yeah, Clay, what about staff-wise? Any decisions been made there, or it's way too early or not?
Too early at this point. It's been such a whirlwind. The most important thing for me when this all started happening was finalized was to get here and connect with the players. Certainly, it's funny anytime you go into a new job. There are people who come out of the woodwork from all walks, letting you know they want to be a part of the staff, and they have a connection here, connection there, and I certainly respect that and appreciate that. And I told the players, I said, whatever we do, it's going to be in your best interest. We're going to get a staff together that's going to serve Roanoke College, it's going to serve our basketball program, and going to serve you all as student athletes in the right way. So we'll get all that figured out in time, and I'm confident we'll make the right decisions.
You're taking over a club that won 19 games last year. Obviously, there's some talent there, and all those guys, you expect them all to stay here, right?
The talks were good. I felt positive. They conveyed a positive message. As I said, I respect that it's difficult for them. It's a turbulent time. So I just want to do my best to put them at ease right now, to connect with them and reassure them at the end of the day that they're going to have somebody who is looking out for their best interests, who will be their biggest advocate, and is excited to coach them. And where we go from there, time will tell. But as I said, great regard. I would tell you, I think we saw just about every one of those guys on the recruiting trail. And then obviously we've competed against them. So I feel like I have a good feel for them. I don't have as good a feel as I will continue to have as I'm around them. And that's important to me, to continue to get to know them better. But I do feel like I have a solid feel for them as we get started, and I'm excited to coach them.
You're excited about the new facility over here?
Slightly. Yeah. It's awfully impressive. I saw it for the first time Friday in person. I had seen pictures of it and got to walk through it for the first time on Friday, and needless to say, it's extraordinary. I know the community is very proud of it. Certainly, as a coach, I'm very grateful for the sign of support that shows, and I know the players are looking forward to playing in it. They talked quite a bit about that on Friday. So it's awfully impressive, and it was fun to walk through it.
How much does moving within the conference, is that an advantage, a disadvantage? How does that help you out?
I certainly think it's an advantage from the standpoint of familiarity, familiarity within the league, familiarity with what we think it's going to take to be successful, familiarity with recruiting areas. All that comes into play. Obviously, it'll be searching for the right word. It'll be a little different, you know, when you're going to be competing against players you love and an institution that was good to you. But sometimes in life those things happen, and Randolph has been great through this process, just as Roanoke has been great. So I think it'll be an advantage certainly in the big picture, and excited to get started.
Coach, obviously, congratulations on being coach here. You've built a great program over at Randolph, turning that into a successful program. How do you going to transfer that success to another program that's been very successful, particularly last season?
Sure. I think certainly that these guys are hungry and they want to continue to build off of what they've done. At the end of the day, as I said before, my role as a coach really starts with three things. It's to serve their needs as people, it's to serve their needs as students, and it's to serve their needs as basketball players. And we're going to do that to our fullest extent. And through all of that, you know, obviously there'll be, as I told them, there'll be times I'm going to be leaning on them to help me out, help me in my adjustment, help me to learn and to grow. Times they're going to be looking to me for direction, knowledge on things, expectation on how we want to do stuff. But like I said, they certainly came across as a very hungry group, and I know they're eager to learn and get to work.
Coach, congratulations on
Thanks,
the
Dave.
job. You mentioned your previous position at Randolph and that you were willing to leave it behind for Roanoke. What made this position so enticing to you that you were willing to walk away from a program that you built in Roanoke?
I felt like I was in a special situation at Randolph, and it would have taken a very special situation for me to be willing to leave, but I certainly feel like that's what this is. As I mentioned earlier, I've always been familiar with Roanoke, the quality institution, its strengths, and it's an exciting time for the athletic department. It's an awfully impressive athletic department, the staff of coaches, the leadership that's here, and the more that I looked at this opportunity, the more I felt like not just short term but big picture for my family, that this would be the right thing, not that staying would have been the wrong thing, but this was an opportunity that I just felt like was that kind of a special opportunity to say yes to.
And one more follow-up, you mentioned meeting with the players for the first time. I know the news had slipped out maybe a little early, so someone heard about it before they met you. What was that first reception like with them? What sort of conversations did you have with players?
Again, from my perspective, I thought it was positive. I can only go off of what they shared with me and my vibe and my read on it from the time talking to them, but I thought it was all very, very positive. I was excited to meet them and get a chance to connect with them. And so that was good. You know, they've got some familiarity with me, having competed against us. How much so, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to them learning about me more, and as I said, most importantly, me learning about them more.
What are some of the benefits of inheriting this team and this program that Coach Moyer built?
Well, they had a good year last year, very good year. And I think that they want to continue to build on that, and that's always exciting when you can walk into a situation like that. The name Roanoke College sells itself. The success of this program sells itself. And there's a tremendous amount here that is awfully impressive. So for someone like me, as I said before, I'm just humbled to be a part of it. Want to contribute in some small way to continuing building what's here and what's in place. And as I said, going to work as hard as I can to serve these young men and to make the community proud of the program that we're going to work to have.
The style of play last year, especially for the Maroons, was, as you know, up and down, run and gun. I know your style might be a little different. What do you think that transition will be like? Because you've got some of the same players.
Sure. Yeah, it's a $64,000 question, right? How are we going to play? This is how I would answer that. I don't know a lot. Scott right now is saying, Clay, there's a lot I don't know in terms of just, things in life. But what I do know, April 25th, probably not smart to get myself boxed into a corner with saying we want to do this, we want to do that, because the reality is, as I said, I think I've got a good feel for these players. But to be fair to them, I want to continue to get to know them to a point where we can really feel good about ultimately my job as a coach when it comes to on the court is to put them in position to be successful and to help them play to their strengths, to avoid their weaknesses. And at the end of the day, we have to be good at both ends of the floor. I think we all understand that. So really, to put it in simplest terms, we want to be really hard to guard and we want to be really tough to score against. And whatever we need to do that, that's how we've got to be able to compete for championships. I think any championship caliber team demonstrates that. Look no further than Villanova and what they did this year at both ends of the floor. So we want to make sure that we try to do that to help these guys be successful, make them comfortable, put them in position where they can play to their strengths and be as good as they can be.
Coach, oh, sorry.
My fault. So for the time being, would you be open to being kind of pliable in terms of your style, at least for the time being, while the transition continues?
Again, as I said, I think certainly as a coach, you're open-minded, just trying to figure out what's going to work best. Teams at Randolph didn't always play the same way. I think sometimes people might think that they did. They really didn't. Defensively, we were probably a little more consistent. But offensively, when we had Colton Hunt, we did a few more things differently than, maybe in some other years. And same is true with some other teams that we had. So as a coach, it's my job to adapt and find what's going to work with these guys, while at the same time, and I know that they feel this way, being open-minded to realize, okay, let's figure out how we can continue to improve, continue to grow, continue to get better, because we all want to do the same thing. We all want to win, and we want to be successful. And so what's the best way to do that?
Coach, again, very successful at Roanoke College. Two-part question. One, what do you think was your key to success at Randolph? And two, what do you think will be the key to your success here at Roanoke?
No question in my mind that our number one reason for success at Randolph was if we did anything right as coaches, we targeted the right student athletes, targeted the right kind of kids who want to invest in something bigger than themselves, who are of high character, who understand what it means to pursue excellence, that want to be good in all facets of their life. I know I probably sound like I'm talking in a general sense, but the truth of it is we're very specific about the guys we wanted to target, just as we will be here. I mean, Roanoke College is a special place. That means we need to get special young men. And that was vitally important for us at Randolph to do that. So it started and ended with the players. Always has, always will. And I was certainly thankful for them for the ride that they took me on as a coach for 9 years. And these guys at Roanoke, it's about them, and excited for what's to come for them.
Coach, after building the program up at Randolph, how big of the allure coming to Roanoke was a new challenge, a new opportunity to grow as a basketball coach?
I think there's certainly some appeal with that. But by the same token, I'll also be honest and tell you that one of the things that I think my wife and I are most excited about is we have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. And we look forward to being able, I like stability. And I look forward to being able to be in a situation in a community. And we valued our community and time very much in Lynchburg. And we know here that this will be a situation where we can lay down roots and be able to, this is not just a short-term decision. This is also a 20-year decision, so to speak. And if we're fortunate enough to be here for that period of time, this is a special place that we will certainly feel privileged to be a part of.
Anybody else? Clay and Scott will be available for one-on-ones, so
Right.
you guys need them.
Guys, thank you.